the hell? Welcome. This is Carlos Baseball and the Ernie Orange. This is Real Talk Baseball. Welcome to the recap of Week 10. It was an exciting one with the Yankees Dodgers just finishing up their series. We've got a couple things to go over with Hall of Famers, and we're going to talk about Marcus Stroman, something that's really interesting today's in the baseball world. But before we start that, let's go ahead and say, what's up, Ernie? How's it going, man? How's everything going, dude?
Hey, Carlos, man, what a crazy weekend, man. Was out up there in San Diego over the weekend watching the Padres fans in Gaslamp. They didn't look too happy to me, man. And, I got to go to the Dodgers Yankees over the weekend this Sunday night. It was a great game, man. Great
Yeah.
playoff intensity game. But overall,
Was
good
it?
weekend for baseball. Yeah,
Was
for
it?
sure, man.
How,
A
it
lot of
was a
Yankee
playoff
fans.
atmosphere. A playoff
And
atmosphere environment.
I had to remind myself that we were in June. Like, wait, this game doesn't mean that much. It's just a series. Is nothing's gonna happen. Both teams are still gonna
Yeah,
make the playoffs, but the fans took it very seriously. This game
I
meant a
bet,
lot to
dude.
each fan.
Well, it's just more than just that. You got to think about like is the West Coast, East Coast. You had the '90s back in the days. Like it was the rap battles. It was Tupac versus Biggie. It's more than just like the baseball game. I think it's more than just that. The rivalry
Definitely.
is like from back in the days when the Dodgers used to play in New York. 11 World Series, which the Dodgers only won 3. So the
Mhm.
Yankees are on top of that, and the Yankees are still the Bronx Bombers, dude. So it's wherever they go, they're gonna bring a big fan base, and I mean, you got to experience it, which is really cool.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, it's not the results for LA people want it, right? But it happened. But yeah, dude, I was watching the game on ESPN, and they were giving all these type of rivalries that were happening. I don't know if you knew, but Dave Roberts went to UCLA, and
Mhm.
Aaron Boone went to USC. So that's another rivalry there, dude.
Oh, wow,
I,
even the managers had a rivalry.
yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know how intense the rivalry was until ESPN started digging and started doing all this. So, as baseball players, we try to find any little reason for rivalry stuff, right? Like kind of
That's
like what the
correct.
Padre fans wants to do and stuff like that. Like this
Yeah.
is where we're kind of like, okay, let's check this out. Like, okay, Aaron Boone and Dave Roberts, they went
And
to opposite schools, and
now that
that
you
was a
bring that
rivalry.
up,
That's a rivalry. That's a rivalry,
right, now
right?
that you yeah, it is, and now that you bring that up, I just realized that Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are actually both from California.
Yeah,
Born and
yeah,
raised here, and now they're playing in the big state of New York, playing for
yeah.
the biggest team in baseball.
Yeah, Gary Cole too. He's from
That's
California. He
that's
grew up a
great.
Yankee fan and an Angel fan, which is weird, right? And he's
It
a
is.
big Yankee fan, and he's out there playing for the Yankees. And dude, I don't know if you got to see, but did you see Aaron Judge hit that fence out there in the bullpen? Like a lot of people are
Man,
talking about it.
he crashed into that wall big time.
Yeah, like that's why he missed yesterday, and
Yeah,
you didn't get to experience it. But he should have played. You said he was taking batting practice, right?
yeah, so I got to the game a little early, got to experience Aaron Judge being in batting practice. I thought, he was still hitting some bombs out there. I
Yeah.
literally thought he was gonna play. 30 minutes before the game started, we got the notification that he was gonna sit this one out and even possibly get into the IL, which was very concerning because you look at the Yankees lineup, man, it's not very offensively strong if you think about it.
Really?
If you compare it to
I
the
saw.
Dodgers, it's like they still have a way better roster than the Yankees offensively. They may
Hey,
have
but
the
you did.
pitching.
Yeah, yeah. But
The
you did
Yankees
get
didn't
to
have
see the Bronx Bombers, so that's. I mean, if you would have saw Aaron Judge in that lineup, maybe you would have thought different, right?
Yeah, definitely. It changes just with him in the lineup. He's just
Yeah.
that one player that makes a huge change for the team.
Dude, I'm not gonna say it because you said it, and it was perfect. The Judge dependent, or what was it? The Yankees are too Judge dependent.
They
I
really
like
are,
that.
man.
I like that. Well, yesterday they didn't need them to win. They did really well. They won 4-1. They won the series, in matter of fact, and it's pretty good. It's good for baseball. They put this game, so that they can show NBA like, look, this is our top game of the week. The two top teams of MLB. I'm gonna put them against your finals, your NBA finals, and I haven't seen the ratings and see who saw the NBA finals and then who saw the MLB game yesterday. So once it comes out, I'll go ahead and post it on here. But I'm pretty sure MLB did pretty well yesterday. I think I don't know who's interested in the
I
NBA
want to say so
finals,
too.
right? Yeah. So
Hmm.
MLB, got a gutsy move and said, you know what, I'm gonna put the primetime game and I'm gonna feature my two top teams and against
Two
your
major
NBA
markets.
finals. Yeah, yeah. So he hit it on the
Yeah,
ball,
two
man. We'll
major
see what
markets.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, two good teams, man. It was such a great game, Carlos. Bobby Miller is looking like the future ace of the Dodgers, man.
And that's what I wanted to
Incredible
ask you.
pitcher.
Really?
Man, this guy has some good fastball, sinker, you name it, throwing 99 to 100 miles. This ball was unhittable, man. He had all the Yankee players fooled. Unfortunately, he threw a lot of pitches. I think he could have still stayed another inning,
I think
but
so too.
Dave
I
Roberts
think so
always
too.
plays it safe. Always plays
So
it
look,
safe, and it hurt him at the wrong at the end.
So look, I know you were at the stadium, and when you're at the stadium, you don't get to see a lot of things that's happening in the dugout. And what happened in the dugout, which was kind of funny, he was kind of barking at someone, and it looked like he was kind of upset, and he was looking towards Dave Roberts'
Hmm.
side, and at one of them, he goes like, "Why now? Why now? Like, like, why are you taking me out right now? Like, I still have, like, fuel in the tank. Let me go out another inning." And I felt like he should have let him out, but then again, he is a rookie. He is going to get to those innings later on in his career. He just experiencing that. And I know adrenaline can do a lot for you and can, he could have gone after 10 strikeouts. He got 7 strikeouts, which was not bad at all. But yeah, he looked like he was
Hmm.
kind of upset. He did kind of look upset once we knew he wasn't going to play anymore. It was kind of one of those things like, damn, is he really mad at Dave Roberts or what's going on here, dude? But yeah,
That's
that's
very
good. You got
interesting
to
that you bring
experience it.
that up.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was just lighting it up, man, and it just like once Granado came into the game, he just blew the game for the Dodgers, and the
yeah,
Yankees took advantage. And he's small
yeah.
Eric throwing the ball to first, Granado trying to be a hero. It was just
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I kind of feel bad for Gratterall because I feel like everybody's blaming that throw on him. But remember, this guy throws 101, 102 mile per hour fastball. Imagine how fast his arm is moving. And there was no one at first.
Mhm,
So he was trying to hold back and he couldn't hold back anymore. So the ball left by second base, right? So if you look at the
mhm.
replay, you kind of see that happening, but everybody's still going to blame Gratterall no matter what. He was trying to hold the
Yeah,
ball back because there was no one at first. Freddie Freeman came in,
exactly.
and Vargas didn't cover second because that wasn't the play. So I mean, it happens. Whatever. Yankees took the series 2-1, but there's other news too, man. The Pirates swept the Cardinals, which is a big deal.
Okay.
The Cardinals looked like they were gaining momentum, and it didn't happen, so they got swept. And then the comeback from the Braves yesterday, dude, against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks were leading 5-3, and then I believe Rosario hit a grand slam. They came back. They won that series. So it's
Okay.
like, yeah, that's a pretty good baseball yesterday. Like pretty good series that were happening.
Yeah.
We got to see this, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this video right quick. We got to see this guy. And I don't know, Ernie, go ahead, man. I'll let you go through this video.
Oh man, Marcus Stroman, he's doing his own shuffle called a shuffle. This guy has been balling out, man. He's been the best pitcher in baseball lately, Carlos. He just
Yeah.
got announced for Player of the Week. He's 2-0, 15 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, and 14 Ks. I'm
Yeah.
loving his approach, man, to the game. He is going in there attacking these hitters, like actually asking them hit it, and they're not even hitting the ball. But
Yeah.
man, this play here, he after the game, the post game conference, Carlos, he mentioned that he understands that Soto may get him one day with a home run, that he's just enjoying the moment right now and that he wants to play against the best. And that's how he got that momentum to do that little shuffle on Soto. So it's pretty cool to hear, man. This guy was a player that was once struggling with the Blue Jays and Mets. He has overcame injuries like ACL injuries. So it's a great story to hear Stroman, man. He's like the best news that Chicago Cubs has had this year.
That's true, dude. And not only that, but I want to add that this guy had a problem, or no, actually the Mets, last week, we didn't come on last week because it was a holiday and I don't know if people were going to watch. So, but he did something against the Mets where the Mets took offense to it, right? And he pretty much said, I'm right here. I'm right here. Like, I'm pretty much throwing the ball where I need to throw it and where I need to locate it. You just need to hit it. And right here with Soto, I feel like it's a revenge, not revenge, but it's kind of like a thing where they're going back and forward rivalry. Stroman's from Puerto Rico and Soto's from Dominicana, so that's kind of been having that little rivalry since the World Classic. They're bringing it onto the season, which is great for baseball because they're showing up, they're doing what they need to do, and I feel like Stroman was like, "Look, dude, I put it there. You didn't swing. That's on you." So, like when he did that little nod, he was like, "Hey, man, like." Come and get it. And what he said, that's true. He's going to get him one day, but not right now. Right now, Stroman's on top of it, and that's what's going on, man. It's great for baseball. I think it's really great for baseball, especially with Soto.
Really
Soto taunts a lot of Soto taunts a lot of players, man. He does. So he really I think it's great, right?
What a great start for Stroman this year. He just one hit the Rays. He had one hit shutout against the Rays, which is impressive against the best team in baseball. He lighted up against the Mets and now against the Padres. And this guy I think he has posted a .93 ERA over his last 4 starts. And, it just gives to show you how much hard work and dedication he has put into baseball. And he's trying to be one of those elite pitchers out there. So it's great to see Marcus Stroman, man.
Do you think, and he always has do you agree with me saying that he's brought that intensity from the World Classic?
Oh, definitely. He's been pumped. And, Puerto Rico took down Dominican Republic. So it was a huge, impressive win for Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, they got short with Mexico. That was also coming off very hot.
Yeah.
But lately, and he is bringing that intensity. And that's the type of player he is. He loves to bring excitement to the game. And as fans, we're all here for it,
Yeah.
That's what we need. Sometimes baseball could be boring. That's what people don't want to watch.
Yeah, that's true. And we need some of this to happen. What is the name of the coach that used to be that got fired from the Angels? I'm trying to remember his name. He was the coach for the Angels and he got fired. I can't think of his name.
Joe Madden?
Joe Madden, dude. He had no. Madden. He came out in MLB today. He says that I don't think baseball should be that showing off and stuff like that. I don't think fans should really like the sport because of that. But I do feel like it needs it sometimes because we need to, there's some series that are pretty boring and there's not like any conflict going on. We just feel like, but if there was kind of like, a backstory to it or something to where like they're talking back and forward, then you're like, let me sit down and watch, let me see if they're gonna, something's gonna happen. Are they gonna fight? Like Phil Nevin, right? You said he got kicked out of the game, right?
That guy stays talking smack. That guy would want to fight every time he can with umpires. That's another guy that's always in a bad mood. I don't get it, but it's great for baseball, man. And if you see in other sports, Carlos, people see in other sports like hockey, football, people love violence. It's sad to say boxing. These are sports that people love. And, when we hear about topics, if you want to talk before the game, like, I hate this guy, more people are going to watch the game.
Yeah.
Because they want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If Marcus Stroman was to be out there, I can't wait to beat the shit out of the Mets. Everybody would be watching. The whole New York would be against him.
Yep. They will. And it's one of those things that I agree with you because I do feel like it does need to have that intensity. It does need to have that thing. Like yesterday, I guess it was I can't think of his name. Man, I'm breaking down. Maybe because we're live. We're live. Go ahead and hit that follow and hit that like button. If you have a comment, go ahead and put it on our comment and we'll go ahead and answer you. But I want to remember his name. The coach for the Yankees, man. I said it earlier. Aaron Boone. He started talking smack to the umpire, and they almost kicked him out. And it brings me to the next question: who is the manager that holds the record of getting thrown out of a ball game? And think about it. You don't have to do it right now, but just think about it. We got a message here. What's up, fellas? Listening to y'all on my way to work. Keep it up. Yep. What's up, Javi? Just giving you a big shout out. Have fun at work today. Once you're done with work, get home and sleep, man. I know you work at night, and it's pretty tough, but big shout out. Let me take that out right quick. All right, so
sure.
yeah,
Thanks, Javi,
just
for
remember
listening,
that.
man. The only I feel like I have it right here, but I want to say Lou Pinella, but I don't think I'm close.
Lou Pinella, you're close. You're close. I'll let you think a
Is
little
it?
bit more, man. Because no. We'll go on. I think I'll put it on here in the message right now. So let's continue, man.
Okay.
Let's go on to the next. I guess what is it? What do we have here? Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. My phone shut down on me, and I have all my stuff on here. So, all right, Shane Bieber, dude, pitching for the Cleveland Guardians, and the Guardians have been kind of like don't know if they're going to be trading, don't know if they're going to be sellers or buyers, right? So they let go of Plesac, and now they have Bieber there. Is Bieber one of the players that's going to get traded? And what teams do you feel like that's going to happen? Because there's teams out there that need pitching. I know a lot of people think that the Astros are set, but the Astros are not set. They just had 3 major injuries to their pitching staff. And the Texas Rangers, they don't have their aces out there, and they're doing pretty well out there. But they can use a pitcher. The other one that we've been talking about, it's the Yankees can use him because Rendon hasn't come back either. So
Exactly.
is he going to get traded this year?
I think it's gonna happen, Carlos. Unfortunately, Shane Bieber hasn't had the same season as he has previously, but you know what you're gonna get out of him. He's a Cy Young pitcher, has a great fastball. The guy could just definitely be in these big moments and not be scared, right? He has some playoff experience. Unfortunately, I don't think that the Guardians are. I mean, the AL Central's open, right? We know that anybody's could win this division. The only thing is that he will be a free agent next year, and you ask yourself, should the Guardians just keep him? It will be a huge loss, man, because I don't think they're going to make a deep playoff run if they were to get to the playoffs. I don't think they have the roster that would get them there, to the World Series.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I see them trading him, man. There's a lot of GMs calling. There's a lot of need for pitching. And, man, I think, let's see, Jamal, what's up, guys? Picked up Andrew Abbott ahead of today's matchup, and he looked pretty good. Nothing earth-shattering, but how do you think he'll do? You think he'll stick in the majors?
He should stick in the majors, dude. I honestly feel like he's gonna. I mean, with picking up players that like come up when they're just gonna do like spot starts and stuff like that, it's kind of difficult to see where they're gonna land. But he did pretty well today. Like he didn't do all that bad. But I just feel like they'll probably keep on one more start. And if you have him like for today, I believe today is a 2-start pitcher. So that means today is Monday. You'll probably have them Saturday, Sunday. So it's kind of weird. If you guys do have your starting lineups for your podcast, I mean not podcast, for your fantasy leagues, it's keep an eye on it because I had to start one of my pitchers were supposed to start today and they pushed them for tomorrow. So keep an eye on that things right now because I think the pitchers or the teams are pushing their starters back to get an extra day. So just keep an eye on that. It happened to me today. I'm not gonna say what pitcher because there's some people listening here and they're in my they're in my fantasy league. But if you're out there, like I think just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Like definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, he probably would be definitely you can hold him. But if he's gonna be the 2-start, leave him. I suggest leave him. I didn't even say what's up, Jamal. My bad, dude. I just went ahead and answered the question and I didn't say what's up. That's messed up. But yeah, dude, I agree with you. I think the Indians, if they are the Guardians, if they are gonna like not sign them, they should get something for them. I think they should go ahead and trade him. There's a lot of possibilities with Bieber going to a different pitching staff, and I didn't even mention the Dodgers. The Dodgers are one of those teams as well. The Giants are playing good baseball right now. The Diamondbacks are surprising everybody right now. They're on top. They're tied with the
Yeah.
Dodgers on top of that division. And then the AL East. They're there. They're like that can happen. So I think Bieber's not going to be there. I think he's going to get traded. And
Yeah,
don't be surprised if the Rangers make a push for that.
it just got announced that DeGrom just got pushed to a 60-day IL today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
See.
he won't be able to return till June 28th now. So that's 3 more weeks in the books. Luckily, the Rangers have been balling out. Martin Perez, Nathan Ovaldi have been balling out, man.
Yeah.
Been holding the
Yeah.
team down offensively. I don't know what Bruce Bochy does to these guys, man, but he gets these like low name, like no big name players, and they still produce, and it's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
It
This
is
guy, I don't
crazy.
know what he does. I don't know how a manager makes such a huge difference to me sometimes.
Dude, look at the Padres. We just talked about the Padres, how Stroman was, did the little shuffle against Soto. What's wrong with the Padres? Like, is it something that it's kind of like, all right, are the baseball gods punishing them? Like Tatis said, that's kind of weird, right?
It really is, man. Blame it on Kershaw, man. Ever since Kershaw went in the billboard, man, the Padres can't seem to win. They have not won a series since that happened. The only series they have won since then has been against the Nationals, Cardinals. They have lost every other series.
That's true.
So,
Hey,
man,
don't blame it on Kershaw though. Kershaw didn't tell them, "Hey, put my picture up there of the crying emoji." Like they went ahead and put that juju on themselves. They did that, not Kershaw. Like, don't put that on. Kershaw's like, "Don't put that on me, like Padres. That's on you." All right,
hey,
Jamal.
man.
Yeah, Jamal Beaver's velocity dip makes it interesting, both in fantasy and reality. Might be another Matt Harvey. Damn, dude. If that's the case, Matt Harvey used to throw super hard, and I remember he got the start in the All-Star game, and it was supposed to be Kershaw, but because it happened in New York, Matt Harvey got that honors of starting there. And after that, just velocity kept going down. Look at Strasburg. He has nerve damage. Could end his career. Did you hear about that, Ernie?
Yeah, I just read
It's
about
crazy,
that.
right?
That this may be he just got shut down from baseball activities, and it's unfortunate for him because I don't think he's ever going to be able to play the game anymore. And
Yeah,
the Nationals gave up a huge contract after the World Series win, and it's just gets to show you how much the demand for pitchers are needed, Carlos.
yeah,
The Dodgers are banged up right now. The Mets, they're looking old in pitching.
yeah.
Like you said, the Rangers, Astros are also getting hit hard. It's
Mhm.
definitely a possibility. I know teams are going to give up anything they have to give up just to get Shane Bieber. And like
Yeah,
Jamal says, I know his velocity has dipped, but his postseason experience is going to take him, give
a
him
little bit
that edge
different. Yeah,
that team needs.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe
And
he just
you're
change
wearing
the
the Blue
scenery.
Jays. You're wearing the Blue Jays hat. We forgot about the Blue Jays. Alec Manoah is not pitching good. He just gave up 6 runs today. I don't think he even got out of the first inning. So
No way.
maybe yeah, Beaver can go to Toronto. We don't know that. So Alec Manoah, if you have him, do you drop him or do you keep him? Like, I know it's 80% out there of the people still have him. Do you still ride with him? You can keep him on your bench, but that's just taking up a spot, man. Like, I didn't want to really get into Alec Manoah, but I saw this right now earlier, and I'm like, damn, this guy is not doing good at all. So like, it sucks,
Do you
man.
think he should just send some minors, Carlos?
He
Do you think he
could
should just
be
get sent to
sent.
the minors for like a reset? For like kind of a
Look,
reset, get back to his mechanics?
yeah, look, dude, we've
Because,
been talking about the timer, right? And how it's been working for baseball. But we forget that the timer messes up the pitchers too. This is one of those
yeah.
pitchers that we can look at and say, look, the time is messing with this guy. The timer is not working for him. It's not working for Alec Manoah right now. So yeah, he could get sent down and work on that, because you're trying to find yourself on that mound sometimes. Like, if you're like, okay, you talk to yourself and you do that and you pitch right, but this guy for some reason can't find it. His velocity's still there, he still lights out, but he's serving it up. So maybe the time for him is something like it, with his mind, that he needs to work it out. Nathan has been going crazy for me. Eli, dude, I think he's one of those, he's into that 2018 form. I think, when he
He
was in the
really is.
playoffs, he's throwing hard and he's throwing good. So like, I suggest don't even drop him, don't move him, keep him on your team. Like, that's a good
Don't
thing.
trade him, nothing.
Nothing. He's on it.
Don't trade-
He's with the Rangers too. Bochy, you just mentioned Ernie. Bochy does things to them that I don't know, man. It's just a coach thing. So keep him on the bench like other month, and then it keeps playing bad, drop it exactly. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's take your advice. If you do have Alek Manoah, like put him on your bench, keep him there for a little bit. I think we went too long already. But if you are in one of those, if you have a team that you really need another pitcher, then try to trade him. There's a way to trade him. There's some other players that think that this guy's going to find it. He's going to come back. If they do end up sending them down, you could use them as an NA spot. So think about that. Like that'll work, dude. But yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. And when they have these trades happening, we will be here, and that's kind of like a good day for baseball, right? When the trades happen.
Right, we're approaching the trade deadline really quick, Carlos. The season, by the time we knew it's already 2 months in. We're already going into our All-Star selections, and a month in from now, we're going to be talking about who's going to get traded,
Yeah,
and who's sellers and who's our buyers.
yeah.
And baseball goes quick. We still have 100 games left, but even then, 60 games into the season, and we're already seeing how injuries are affecting a lot of teams. And pitching is hard to come by. And if you really put trust on all these young prospects that you have down in your minors, are they really ready to perform for the major league level? That's where it's tough, man. Sometimes you just need that veteran presence in their lineup just to get some wins for you.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Before we move to the next the segment after this, I do want to say the Rangers. The Rangers need bullpen as well. Are they going to go after someone? Because we talked about Bieber going there, but do they need a starting pitcher, or do they need a bullpen? Because bullpen is kind of like slim all over the league. It's not just the Rangers. Look at the Padres. They have Hader closing games, but he already blown, I believe, 3, and that's concerning. So if anything, I think the Rangers will have to get a bullpen, and they're set. We've been kind of like overlooking these teams, and that's a big no-no. Like we should be kind of like, okay, they are playing good. They're on top of the West in the AL, and they're playing the Astros head to head. They're doing good. And since you're an Angels fan, like you're keeping close tabs on these teams, right?
It's been bad. Oh man, the Rangers been balling out, man. Who would have expected that there would be 18 games above 500 at this point of the season, Carlos? I honestly do believe they do need a bullpen, a starter, because of the DeGrom injury. Don't know what's going to happen down the road, so you'd rather just have a safety there and another hitter, at least a veteran presence in the lineups. Somebody they could bring as a pinch hitter, somebody that could just be there to rotate in case another injury happens. This season's very long, and things could always change. So it never hurts to get as much trade for being a buyer.
Yeah. Dude, and I'm going to go ahead and use that because it is a long season. A lot of people think that because these teams are not performing well, like I want to say the Mets and the Padres are not performing well. They have all these stars on there. And it's not that they're not performing well. It's just they're not getting that right hitting streak all together. They're not batting at the same time, or either they're not pitching at the same time correctly. Like it's one of those things that team chemistry takes time to build. And that team was built. The Padres were built in the offseason. Some of them were already there, but there's a lot of ego in that team. And then you're looking at the Mets. You have older guys that are like leading that starting rotation, which is kind of hard, dude. It's kind of hard. So we'll see what happens in the trade deadline. I'm really eager to see that because I feel like that's going to be something really, really fun for baseball in this July. Go ahead, Ernie.
Jamal says Will Smith Rangers reliever slapping batters for strikeouts, saying "Get my manager name out of your mouth." Will Smith, man, funny. Sorry, Will Smith, that guy's
Bruce Bochy. Like, yeah, go ahead.
No, go for it, Carlos.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say Bruce Bochy. Remember he had that bullpen over there in San Francisco where he had his relievers ready to go, and that's what he's doing in Texas. And like it is funny to hear Will Smith like that. That's good, man. You need to back your managers up, and you have to go ahead and do that. Of course, we have another one here. Go ahead.
Sorry, just to say one last thing. The Rangers are having a good culture there, man. It looks like they're having fun, and Bruce Bochy's got their teams playing really well. They're just embracing. They want to win every game. And that's something
Yeah.
that Eli had just mentioned. How do you guys feel about Manny playing like trash? I don't see that with the Padres, man. I don't see that winning culture. They don't want to win. I feel like they're just being lazy. Like, it's still too early. And the season's going by just as quick as possible. And, we're going 60 games into the season, and they're doing terrible. And the
Yeah.
Padres paid everybody, right? Everybody has a contract there. Manny Machado got a huge contract. They have huge expectations from him. They expect him to be a huge leader for that team. They Jack Cronenworth, which is just batting 200 right now. These guys are just not performing at the level they expected. And unfortunately, what's going to happen if this season, if they don't make the playoffs, Carlos? What are you going to do with all these contracts with all these players? How are you going to find ways to trade them?
Dude, okay, so this is one of the things that when we go and do research and we talk about what the players are doing, and it's all of us. It's from Will, from Chavi, from when Tony Snap is on here, Ernie Orange, and myself. We look at all these social media platforms and we see what people are talking about. A lot of people are talking a lot of trash about Manny Machado right now. He got his contract. He's not going to play the way he played last year because he was looking for it. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to believe that this guy just wanted a contract and does not want to play, because he's a great third baseman and he's like defensively. This guy he's up there. He's up there on third basemen in my list. Like, his attitude might not be there. I'm one of the guys that look at attitudes, and I kind of like players that have those good attitudes. The laughing attitude, like jokester attitude. I don't see that from Manny Machado. I kind of did see a little bit of leadership last year. I kind of feel like, okay, if the Padres don't do good after June, someone's going to get fired there. And it's not going to be the player. It's going to be either the hitting coach, the pitching coach, or even the manager. Because that's what happens in Major League Baseball. You don't perform, you get fired. It doesn't matter what money you're giving to the players. If these guys are not performing, your manager is the one that gets fired. Either,
Exactly.
So the hitting coach right now is not looking good. They asked Soto, dude. They asked Soto, what do you think is going on with the team right now? Like, I don't think I should be the one answering that. Like, dude, you are supposed to be answering that. You're supposed to be answering every media, like, what's going on. Is anything going on behind the clubhouse that you're not telling the fans? Because Padres fans are paying their good money to go see this big team. Everybody thinks the Padres are going to win the World Series this year. Not the way they're doing now, but when they got all these players, we were like, yeah, definitely.
That story's gonna come out eventually, Carlos. Watch. To the end of the season, when the breakup happens, the story will come out. We will find out what actually went inside the dugout, why there was this type of play with these players. But Juan Soto's also not performing that well, Carlos, hurting his contract for the future. He was going to get paid big money for the Nationals. He was asking over $500 million, and that's why he's like, I'm leaving. Nationals traded him and ended up winning this trade, if you think about it. Juan Soto has not been the same player.
Yeah. Man, hey, that's a great question, Eli. And let me put it on you guys. What do you guys think is going to happen? And we'll post it here, like with Manny Machado. Why is he playing that way, man? Give us your theory. Like, I love hearing everybody's theory, because it's like it just opens up my mind to think like, you do have a point there, and you do have a point. Oh yeah, you do have a point. And then let me put this. So yeah, dude, let's move on, man. There's a lot of talk about the Hall of Fame, and I want to go ahead and put it on here, because the Hall of Fame is something that I feel like it's not the way we want the Hall of Famers to go in. Writers get to choose who gets to go into the Hall of Fame. And of course, we want fans to actually vote for that, because there should be more Hall of Famers out there. Gary Sheffield, dude, is one of the players that I saw that I think it's his last time up to join the Hall of Fame. If you don't remember, I think, was he part of the McAbee report? Ernie?
So yeah, Carlos, Gary Sheffield was part of the Mitchell report. He was suspected
for
Mitchell
steroids. Report. Mitchell. Okay.
It was called a Mitchell report. Yeah. And he was also part of a lot of controversial statements that he said when he was in his playing career that I honestly think has been hurting his Hall of Fame chances. The guy played 22 seasons, Carlos, had over 2,689 hits, 509 home runs, and a batting average of 292. I mean, this guy was part of the 1997 Marlins team, as we could see here. He could be the first Marlin into the Hall of Fame. But for some reason, man, we're going into the 10th year of his Hall of Fame ballot, and the guy is not in. And it's kind of unfortunate because this guy had a beautiful swing, man. And I loved watching him when he was with the Dodgers here as a kid. Had a lot of great memories. I still have his bobblehead, and I would wish this guy would be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I met this guy when I was 13 years old, and I remember his big old calves and big old forearms, and I'm like, if I need to get to the MLB, that's the type of calves and forearms I need to have to make it. Dude, Jamal, I know, man. We're talking bad about Manny Machado, and he's 2 for 2 in today's game, which is hopefully it continues for him. Whoever has him on their fantasy team, keep him, because like I said, he's a great third baseman defensively. He just needs to put it together hitting, because right now what's happening with them is that they're hitting one day and the next they're not. They're hitting the next day and then the following they're not. But going back to Gary Sheffield hitting the Hall of Fame, like I feel like he should be part of it. A 292 batting average is not something you can say and be like, that's easy to do. Like, no, it's not easy. It's not easy. But it's kind of crazy where we feel like there's a lot of Hall of Famers. We talked about Barry Bonds. We talked in the past shows. We talked about other players that are not in it. Pete Rose is one of them that we mentioned on here, and we feel like maybe they do deserve to be there. Like they do need to go in, but it's not up to us. Like you said, he did have all these things happen where he had altercations with players. We had him with the media, with coaches. Like he had it with the Dodgers when he joined. He wanted, when he got traded, I believe, he demanded a lot of things until he got it, so that trade could go through. So it went through and he got it. So those little things, it's not sitting well with writers, and that's why they're not letting them in. But then you do have all these other players that are next to come in, dude. Like, you have your Eldrin Beltres, you have your Chase Utley, and I believe Mauer. And from those three, do you feel like all three will get in?
Carlos, for me personally, all three should get in as well. They all been really great players. Adrian Beltre should be a easy first year ballot, and that's what I hate about the Hall of Fame, man. These take too long to get him in. Sometimes I ask myself, if he's a Hall of Famer, he's in, and if he's not, he's not. Why wait 10 years to get him into the last season?
Yeah.
At this point, Gary Sheffield keeps waiting. Last year, his vote was 55% of writers said he should be in. He needs a 75% vote to get in. And you ask yourself, okay, if half of the writers are thinking he should be in, what about the other writers? Are they just waiting for him to be in his last year to get him in? At this point, just let the guy be in the part of the Hall of Fame. Let him enjoy his, success and his story be told. Adrian Beltre is a definitely must first year ballot to me. The guy, it's an automatic bid, Carlos. He had a 286 batting average, over 3,000 hits, 477 home runs. That's also another guy that was a 20-year career. One of the top third basemen for the Rangers and Dodgers. He had a heck of a career. There's no reason why he should be in. Joe Mauer now, he gets a lot of backlash because he played half of his career as a catcher and went to first baseman. A lot of people don't like that because he would obviously go in as a catcher. But when he was a catcher, he was one of the greatest hitters we had in baseball. And the reason why he moved to first was because he wanted to prolong his career because of injuries. He was getting so many concussions being a catcher, and that was before the Buster Posey rule. So, there's not that many catchers in the Hall of Fame, and he is definitely one that, for me, is deserving. And, we don't see that many great – he definitely was one of the best catchers in that decade, if you ask me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And what about Chase Utley? Do you have anything on Chase Utley?
I think Chase Utley's going to get in, Carlos, but I think he's going to be one of those players that's going to take him some time to get in. His numbers are not like crazy stats like that. Like, he doesn't have the best numbers. He does have if I'm not mistaken, like a 200 batting average, but he has been part of some important games. He's part of the 2008 World Series with the Phillies, part of the Dodgers team as well that also got him to the World Series. So the numbers are not there, but he was definitely part of some big games. So I could see him eventually getting in.
But not now, not this year. Maybe eventually later on in his career. Maybe later on in the future. Yeah. Okay. You want to take this one?
Yeah. All right, we got Javier saying Sheffield batting 292 with that crazy batting stance. I love imitating that shit when I'm swinging the bat, dude. Freaking sweet. I did that every time when I hit the piñata, Javier. That was my thing. do the Gary Sheffield before I hit the piñata at a birthday party. Make sure I did that all the time. Either it was with a broom or a stick, whatever it was. I had to do that batting stance. It was
I
amazing.
think it was every kid's thing, like, oh, let's do it. That's a workout. You know that people in Dominicana, what they do is so they can get their forearms a little bit bigger. They do 2 minutes of nonstop this, man. They do it, and they keep going until like their forearms burn. That's how they work out there. They work out every day, man. Those kids are on it. But I remember doing that too because I love how he had that swing and then pop. He just hit it out. It's just one
I
of
love
those
how you're
things I
doing
think
it.
right? I got to, man. I got to. All right.
That
So
was
Eli says Utley is a dirty or was a dirty player. He was a tough. He was a one of those rough players. I want to say dirty. I can't say dirty because if it's dirty, there's a rule for it. If that rule existed, then then it is dirty. But for me, sliding into second and breaking up the double play was one of the best plays for me because I used to play infield. I used to be shortstop, second base. So I didn't mind someone sliding into my legs. It's not that I don't mind, but it was like they're trying to break the double play. I need to jump out of the way to throw to get the double play, right?
Can you
If
remind
I
me what he
didn't
did again? I do remember him running into somebody in the
in
second
the
base,
playoffs,
right?
yeah, in the playoffs against the Mets, he ran into I forget. I don't know if it's Flores, Wilmer Flores. No, it's not Wilmer Flores. If anybody knows the name, like give it out there. But he slid into second. He took him out, and I believe Puig scored to tie the game against the Mets, and the Mets were really pissed off. The very next game that happened, or the Mets still won the series, but the very next time they saw Utley out in New York. And matter of fact, he plays for the Dodgers now, man. Thor. He
Oh,
threw
no.
at him, and they threw him out. They didn't even give a warning, and they threw him out. But you know what, Eli, I'm gonna agree with you. Dirty player, yeah, dirty player. But he got his job done, and that's what he did. That's why they signed these players. They're like, I mean, what? That's a dirty player. Let's go get him. We need that to break double plays. So
Hey, you see that in other sports too. You get this one player that causes, but you sign them for those things.
yeah. Javi,
It
it
causes
was
chaos.
awesome, dude. It was really awesome, man. I still remember that. If we're talking about both Sheffield and we're looking at Chase Utley sliding that second. I mean, it sucks for whoever he broke his leg, but whatever. So I feel like Beltre should be in the Hall of Fame. He's a great third baseman. If Scott Rowland got in, why not Beltre? Why not Beltre? And then I know Beltre didn't ever win a World Series, but he went to the World Series twice, and they lost twice, right? Then you look at
Mhm.
Maurer. He had a lot of trauma because of the head concussions and all that stuff that happened to him. That's why he switched to first. And what you said is correct, man. He's one of the top catchers of our generation to where we're watching baseball and we're experiencing that. That's what I said about Barry Bonds. Did we boo him too much or did we hate on him too much and not realize that we saw one of the greatest hitters of our lifetime and we didn't, you know, enjoy it like we were supposed to. We were more concerned about him being on steroids and stuff like that. Mauer, another thing, like I don't think we should, ding him for being injured. Like it's not his fault that the balls, hit him on his face mask and he got concussions. So I think he should. And you know what? I'm gonna agree with you with Utley. I think Utley's gonna get hate on this first time ballot. He
Mhm.
might maybe in the future get in, but he's not gonna be a Dodger. He's gonna be a Philly. He's a Philly. He's from Long Beach, right? He's from Long Beach.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Long
Wow.
Beach.
Did not know
So
that.
he's from out here from Cali. So dude, if he gets in, he's gonna be representing the Phillies. And so that's a good thing for the Phillies. The Phillies do need more players in the Hall of Fame. But
That's
yeah,
true,
dude.
man.
Yeah. And
There's a lot of
that's in
players also that There's
go
also
ahead.
a lot of players listed that we did not mention. We got the Victor Martinez will be eligible this year. Bartolo
Yeah,
Colon, James Shields, a lot of players
yeah,
like that. I'm like, will they be Hall of Famers? And it's gonna be very hard for them to be
yeah.
called.
And
Bartolo Colon's one of those, maybe.
dude, and that's who I wanted to say. Bartolo Colon, does he belong in the Hall of Fame for you? And be honest,
Hell
be
yeah,
honest.
hell yeah, yeah. He was,
This guy's
dude.
throwing balls off his back, to first base.
He hit a home run. The
You
guy,
know, yeah. Where did he
And
hit a
let's not
home run? Do you remember? Do you remember where he hit a home run?
San Diego.
San Diego, Petco. He did.
He hit it at
Oh
Petco
man,
because
that was pretty funny.
I remember being at the stadium in the past, and I was like, man, that's where I was sitting last time, and that's where Bartolo hit it. But it's also, man, this guy was Bartolo Colon was a Cy Young with the
Yeah,
Angels as
with the
well.
Angels.
He was part of the 2000 Angel roster that was really good, and Bartolo Colon was involved in all these games facing the Yankees in the 2000s. So,
Let me go ahead and pull up his stats, because if you don't know Bartolo Colon, or you never got to see Bartolo Colon was a heavy set guy, man. And this guy looked like he didn't know how to play baseball. And when he was out there, he was athletic. He's one of the most athletic guys that I've seen at that weight. Like, he was hitting, like, well, he hit that bomb in San Diego, but he was throwing the ball behind his back, getting getting people out at first. Flipping him with the glove, like, exactly. Oh, here he comes. This guy's a big Bartolo man right here. Tony, big snap, like big sexy. Exactly. He is big
that was his
sexy. But
nickname.
yeah, he started his career with the Indians, and I'm going to say Indians. It wasn't the Guardians. It was the Indians. And he had a great career, dude. I know the 4.12 ERA doesn't say that he was that good, but there's other things that he did well. Like, he has 247 wins and 188 losses. So he pitched a long career. He had a long career, dude. And I feel like this man should be in the Hall of Fame. Is he eligible for this time or not this year?
Well, he's actually eligible this year. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be a first year ballot, but down the road, this guy should be a Hall of Famer without a doubt. Now, what team will he represent? That's a good question, because I don't have an idea. He played for a lot of major league teams, guys. He was part of the Mets, the Angels, the Indians,
the White Sox,
the A's. I want to say
the A's. The A's, yeah, the A's.
Dude, he played for a lot of teams. The Yankees.
He played for the Yankees too. Oh yeah, he did. Dude, he's with the Yankees. Do you see how old he was when he retired? He retired when he was 45 years old. This man played 21 years. Like, all those guys that we mentioned, they played above 20 years, man. So, yeah, that's a long career. That's a really long career, man. Huge career. So, not now, but maybe later. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, man, these guys were pitching more than 6-7 innings every start, Carlos. And today's the game, we get pitchers only getting up to 6 innings, like, rarely these days.
Yeah.
So it's impressive how they playing for such a long time.
Yeah. All right. So look, guys, I posed this question to Ernie earlier in the show, and I asked him, who's the coach that got thrown out the most in baseball games? And are you sticking with your answer?
Lou Piniella.
All right. Lou Pinella's on that list. He's on that list. Is he
on the list? I have some memorable games where he's been thrown out, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Is he the one that throws dirt at home plate? He's probably one of them too.
Yeah, he's one of them.
All right. So no, it's not him. It's Bobby Cox from the Braves. Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox has been thrown out a lot, dude. A lot. And I'm just gonna say Aaron Boone has been thrown out 38 times. He's gonna get there eventually. He still has a lot of coaching to do, but Bobby Cox was one of those coaches that if he didn't like it, he'll go tell the umpire and start talking smack. And he's one of those old school managers. So, like, I kind of appreciate Aaron Boone, sticking up for his players and getting to see him argue and getting kicked out. That's a good thing. You see those things with your managers, and you're like, whoa, I appreciate the manager doing that for you. So, yeah, man. I have another one. I just want to mention, and I'll put it on here.
Okay,
I did see this. So, yeah,
was Lou Piniella close at least?
Lou Piniella
at least close?
Lou Piniella was on the list, but I can't remember what number he's on. Because I did see him on there, but we'll bring it up the next show, and I'll put the list on there.
For sure.
I didn't get the list, but I know it was Bobby Cox that was number one, and I did see Lou Piniella on there. So, you'll be surprised. I think it was Austin. I can't think of his last name. If the coach for the Dodgers before Tommy Lasorda was Austin, I should know this, and I'm a Dodger fan. Dang, someone needs to revoke my card. All right. Let's do this. I do want to say that that if you ever were to go to Fenway, there's a red seat out in right field, and that red seat represents the longest home run hit by a Boston player. Do you know who that Boston player is?
Man, that's a tough one, Carlos.
That's a tough
So
one, huh?
it's on right field, you said?
Right field. I'll give you another backup story on this one. When Big Poppy played there and he tried to hit it all the way up there, even in batting practice, he said, "This is too far. I don't believe someone hit it that far. Like I got to see it for me to believe it." And that's pretty crazy, right? I'll give you the name, man. Ted Williams hit the ball to that
Oh,
red seat, and that's why that red seat sits there in Fenway. So if you ever go to Fenway, go out to right field and check that seat out, or you can even see it from the rest of the stadium. I've never been to Fenway, but I know the Dodgers are going out there, and there's a lot of Dodger fans on this podcast that, or we still have Will and Javi. There are Dodger fans out there in Pennsylvania. If you guys ever go to Boston, check that seat out, take a picture on it. I don't know, man.
that's cool.
502 foot home run. Can you believe that? That's far, huh?
That's
Really
pretty far. Anything over 450, Carlos, is deep.
It is deep, dude. It is deep.
And
Yeah. We
I
have
haven't.
someone saying, "Go Dodgers." Yeah. What's up, Lupe? Big shout out. Go Dodgers. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
man,
what
that
were
was
you going to
gonna
say?
be
Go
my
ahead. Go ahead.
answer. Ted Williams. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the only option, but I didn't really know him much for being a power hitter.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
No one did. But he was good. He was really good. He did a lot of things out there in Boston, and fortunately, he didn't win the World Series because we already know the great Bambino uh, curse back out there and whatever. So, yeah, man. Dude, do you have a did you know or anything that you want to share that I can go ahead and answer?
Oh man, I didn't prep this week, but
Ah, you're
I
good.
was gonna. Do you? Okay, I have one for you. I guess you
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
already know this. Besides 1994, what
Uh-huh.
other World Series was not played in what year?
What other World Series was not played? I do. Wait, there was a strike in 1981, I believe. Was
So
it 80? I
94,
think
there was a strike, so there was
there
no
was a
World
strike.
Series, but there
Uh-huh.
was another year in baseball history that there was no World Series.
I want to say the 70s. I don't know why I want to say the 70s. I want to say 71. No?
No, that was the time of the Big Red Machine. Uh, it's
I give
actually
up,
gonna go
man.
way,
What
way
year?
back. It's gonna
What,
be
what,
until
what?
like 1904.
Oh, what? No, that's too far, man.
I
Damn.
know that's what I was like, how do I explain away?
1904?
Yeah,
Wow.
it looks like the Giants players didn't want to play. Something about
What?
money and pay, and I need to read more upon it. But it was definitely it was the not the San Francisco Giants. Sorry, the New York Giants was the team,
Yeah.
and they obviously didn't want to play. So I
Yeah.
think it was something for money allegations, something going
Yeah.
on. But there's been a lot of it's cute. We try to bring history to you guys too. We love baseball that much that we know a lot about baseball knowledge that we want to share to you guys, and there's stuff like this that we could bring for you guys. So this is kind of a little segment towards the end of the show that we like to bring history. And I think
Yeah.
everybody loves baseball history,
Of course,
right?
man. I like the trivia. Why not? It's Matt, dude. Yo, what's up, man? How's it going? I haven't seen you on here. If you have a question, put ahead and put it on here, man. We're talking about old school baseball Hall of Fames, and if you have another question, we'll go ahead and post it on here. If we don't know the answer to your question, which it's gonna be kind of hard for us not to know, but anyway, if we don't know the answer, we'll look for it and message us, and we'll message you on YouTube. Like, we appreciate everybody that's on here. We appreciate everybody that likes and follows us, because it's just what this is what we love to do. We love to talk baseball, and it's just it's one of those things for us. It's like it's I guess we're nerds, Ernie, right?
Yeah, baseball
That's
nerds.
what you.
I was
That's
to a
what it is,
bachelor
right?
party this week, and one of my friends was like, "Yeah, my friend Ernie, he's a baseball nerd. You need any questions? Ask the guy." But if you guys have any questions, any did you knows that you guys want to bring towards for us to ask us, me and Carlos, we will appreciate it. You guys are
Yeah,
also more than welcome to ask us baseball history questions, and we'll see if we could answer that. Try to test our
yeah,
knowledge, see how much we really know, or we're
yeah,
just lying to you guys.
yeah. All right. So Matt just said, "Would you pick up Mike Soroka off waivers?" And Tony snapped, since he's here with us, but doesn't jump on the show. Tony, he said, "Matt," and I'm gonna say, "Stay away." So nah, I'll stay away. So yeah, man, there goes your answer. And do you know what? I think I'll stay away too. Like, I don't know. I don't feel right about this guy. Like, so
No, can't
uh
trust them.
Matt, how are you doing in your fantasy, by the way? I know you told us that you're doing a 10 team, I believe. How are you doing in that if you're still on here? We'll continue with our show. But yeah, dude, are you gonna play fantasy next year, Ernie?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
fantasy experience in baseball as well. It just used to
Yeah,
be hard for me back in the day because I used to bartend and I would forget. I would always sleep in for those East Coast games and I could never change the lineup. But
yeah,
now that's changed since I'm up at 4 in the morning.
yeah.
So we should be
All right.
good.
Tied for first in the 14 team. 14 team. Oh my god, I can barely do a 10 and a 12. I don't know, a 14 team, you barely have any players
That's why he's
available
looking
for
for Mike
waivers.
Soroka.
Yeah, that's why. All right.
That'll-
All right. So if you're tied, you're damn, I don't know, man. That's tough, dude. That's really tough. Um, dang, Tony. Um, wait, he said no, right? He said 7-2 right now. Ah, okay, you're 7-2, man. Why do you need this guy? You don't need him. You don't need him. Don't pick him up off waivers. I'm pretty sure if you're 7-2, you don't need to do that. You don't need to harm your team. Remember, your fantasy team goes off of bad vibes too, or good vibes. If you have your good juju, let that run. Don't mess the stuff around. Look at the Padres.
no, damn. Bringing it to reality.
Yeah, it's because
'Cause, man,
Nasty Nestor went down. Yeah, he did go down. You know what? Look, we talked about Shane Bieber. Oh, but he's not going to be no waivers, right? You could probably trade for Shane Bieber if he gets traded to a better team. That'll work out for you, So, and wait for Nasty Nestor. What's going on? Yeah, I've been losing ever since I traded Manoa. For Manoa. Dang, Tony. That sucks, man. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing with you, like that's what it is. That's what it is. Man, we reached the hour mark. We had so much fun. Thank you guys for putting comments on there. That just makes the show a lot funner, a lot smoother for me and Ernie, and
yeah.
even for Chavi and Willpower. Their show comes out on Friday. This Friday, they will go over the 2-start pitchers for next week, and then just go ahead and jump on the show. They're going to go on at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and then 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys have any questions, you can always find us on Instagram. You can go to TikTok. You can have the website. You have all the stuff down here on our ticker. So yeah, dude, that's some good stuff for you guys. Ernie, last thoughts before we sign out, man.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate all the comments, and we hope to see you guys next week as well for next following week's news.
Yeah. And I forgot to say, if you're on here, if you could do us that favor and hit that like button, and if you can do that follow, if you haven't followed us, go ahead and hit that follow, because we do want to get to a point where we have a bunch of content for you guys and get better content, and we get better. If you have a suggestion of how we can make this show a lot better for you guys, go ahead and put it on there. We are not going to get mad at anything. We're trying to get bigger. We're trying to get to where we're kind of like John Boy. John Boy, you have some good, following and all this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Say no more. Gotcha. There we go. Cool. There you go. Tony has any final thoughts, Tony, since you're on here? If Abbott is still out there, I'd probably get him. There you go, Matt. He's giving you some tips and some points right there to get your fantasy team going for Nasty Nestor. And
Trying to go 8-2.
yeah, go 8-2 exactly. All right, guys. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is Ernie Orange. This is Real Talk Baseball. Signing out.